Like a lot of kids, the Rush brothers inherited features from both their mom and their dad, but they share something else in common with their mother, Angie, the same cancer diagnosis. The Fox Medical team's Beth Galvin is here with that story.
And Christine, it's a pretty incredible story. The brothers had about a 50-50 chance that they would be born with the same cancer as their mom. It's a cancer of the retina in the back of the eye, and one by one they were diagnosed. But with this challenge came a kind of blessing because their parents and their doctors knew what to expect and what to look for. Their cancers were caught early.
The Rush brothers, Tristan, Kaysen, and Carter, whom we first met 2 years ago this month, share a lot in common, including the same eye cancer. And their mom, Angie, she's a survivor too.
It's been a part of my life for all my life, pretty much all my life. And now it's a part of my boy's life.
I'll just take a little listen.
Pediatric oncologist Dr. Thomas Olson, director of the Solid Tumor Program at the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, is treating all three brothers, including the youngest, Carter, who was 7 months when he came in for this checkup.
They have bilateral retinoblastoma, which is a tumor of the retina, the back of the eye. About 1/3 of cases, it runs in families.
Angie Rush, the boy's mom, was diagnosed when she was just 6 weeks old.
Well, my eye was removed, and then I think it was about a year, another tumor was discovered in my left eye. And so that's when it officially becomes bilateral retinoblastoma, when it's found in two eyes.
Angie and her husband, Aaron, knew that any children they might have would have a 50-50 chance of inheriting the genetic mutation for retinoblastoma. But while they didn't expect all three boys to be diagnosed, they were ready, and their doctors were looking for the cancer. And Dr. Olson says that's important.
If you know you have it in your family, you can catch it earlier, and there's more options. One, you can what they're doing is minimal chemotherapy and laser therapy. Those are for very small lesions. For much bigger lesions, there's even more complex therapy.
Tristan, born prematurely, was in the NICU when he was diagnosed at 3 weeks with tumors in both eyes.
Top priority would be to save his life, then to save his eye, and then to save as much vision as possible.
And the Rush's second son, Kaysen, was just 2 or 3 days old when doctors found tumors in his eyes. He would need 6 months of chemotherapy and laser treatments to save his vision.
That definitely was scary, watching his tiny body go through everything.
And when Carter, the youngest, was born, his retinas looked clear, at least at first.
Nothing came up, and then we did genetic testing, and that came back positive. So we knew that we had to keep getting him checked until tumors showed up.
They've been all diagnosed very young in age, so they were able to have some local treatment without removing an eye.
And these are the Rush boys today, 8, 5, and 3, and all healthy. They still get regular checkups, but are done with treatment. And like their mom, Angie, cancer is just part of their story.
It's something I've made me stronger, and I've gotten through, and makes me the person that I am, but it's not all that I am.
And there are some key warning signs of retinoblastoma, and one of them is a whitish reflection in the pupil of the eye. So you might notice in photographs that instead of seeing a child with a dark pupil, there's a whitish color there. And some kids with this cancer will also have an eye that is crossed, or what they call a lazy eye, or an irritation in the eye that just won't go away. And if you're seeing these signs, you want to take your child to a pediatrician or an eye specialist and get that checked out.
Yeah, and it seems like, Beth, that because they caught this early, that was so key in helping her children.
Yeah, you talk about a really difficult thing to see in all three of your children, but you know, children with retinoblastoma, especially those that are caught early, have an 80 to 90% chance of surviving the cancer and moving, you know, to a cure beyond the cancer. So
yes,
all three brothers doing well today.
Oh my goodness, what a story. All right, thanks so much, Beth.